episode 102, including romance in your story. And I don't mean writing a romance. That's a completely different thing because that follows certain tropes. You need to read in that genre. You need to understand what tropes you need to write, and then you need to do it and deliver happily ever after, happy for now, those kinds of elements. But the way it shapes, that's a different genre. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about including romantic elements in your story. And I'm a huge fan of sci-fi, read thousands of sci-fi books, and the best ones always include that little bit of sexual tension, a little bit of romance. All of my books include it because I think it's a critical element for stories, and it's one thing that the readers seem to love when done well, not ham-handedly. Look at let's take Star Trek, because everybody knows Star Trek, and if you don't, why are you watching me? That's okay. Star Trek, the original series, you had Captain Kirk. He was a horn dog. He just, any woman was a good woman to him. And then you go to Star Trek, The Next Generation. Now you've got the number one, which he's kind of Kirkish, but then you have Picard, who is above the fray. However, you have that tension between him and the good doctor. And that went on, and there were various stories within that they kind of got together. A flashback where they had been married and then got divorced. Those kinds of things to keep that to keep the romance alive, because that's kind of what people look for. That's what they see in real life. In real life, you don't have stalwart individuals who are all alone, and those are very rare. And we kind of art imitates life, right? The romance is a huge emotional trigger, and people like their entertainment. They like to be emotionally triggered in their entertainment. Horror, they like to be shocked, right? Almost everything else, they like to have that element of companionship. and romance is a way to put that in. In a lot of my stories, I have co-main characters where it's a husband-wife team, or a man and woman team, or a couples team, because that's you can play off each other. The one individual doesn't always have to have the ideas. They can both help move the plot forward. And romance, a little bit of tension, a little bit in my thriller series, it's tension and a lot of closed door sex, because hey, they're in a young relationship. Everybody's gone out that first time, and you feel that overwhelming sense of, oh my God, this person is great and wonderful, and let's break in every room in the house. I'm sure that some people understand what that means. Looking through a lot of the best books, a lot of the best movies, a lot of the best TV series, they all have that romantic element. You look at, say, Bones, for a thriller crime series. You look at Castle as another one that had that dynamic tension that was ongoing season after season, little bit, giving just a little bit. And that's what the readers, the watchers, the listeners, that's what they wanted. So you're kind of giving people what they want, but it also adds a great subplot and element. It gives the characters depth. How many people are so stoic that they don't ever think about other people or think about a romantic relationship? I mean, we're not robots. This is just a thing of humanity. It's hugely influential in real life, and this is why, hey, art imitates life. Give people what they expect. You can't have a character that's so stoic that they push everybody away unless that's your main plot, and then they will still see a little bit, and maybe the secondary characters will then have a little romantic element just to bring that up. Like Sherlock Holmes is one where he didn't care. He didn't have any relationships with other people. That's just something he didn't do. I'm sure Facebook's going to give me a great stupid face because I got the eyes going. It creates a realistic subplot. It gives you the opportunity to introduce things that people can relate to. And the best books, people relate to characters within them. They relate to the plot. Those are the things that are going to carry your book forward. So a romantic subplot, I always and highly recommend it. Not romance, but a romantic subplot, maybe even a little bit sexual tension. Don't throw it all out there right away. Carry it on. I write long series, and you carry it on, and then when they get together, let them hang. And sometimes they break up too, and then move on in a healthy way, because hey, that's real life too. People can relate to it. If people relate to the characters in your book, they're going to like your books. All right, everybody, that's it for today.